Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us this morning Mr. Getamber Anand, who's the Chairman and Managing Director of ATS Infrastructure Limited, who's also, with his vision, revolutionary business acumen, as well as enterprising attitude and novel innovations, has created an admired realm in the field of real estate. In fact, currently he also spearheads CREDAI National, which is an apex body representing the real estate sector as the president. And under his stewardship, CREDAI National has started new initiatives in the larger interest of the society, namely CREDAI Clean City Movement, as well as the CREDAI Education Scholarship Scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have an enthusiastic round of applause as we welcome on stage our keynote speaker, Mr. Getamber Anand.
Good morning, all friends here. Thank you, Shraddha, Viraj and Gaurav for inviting me here. And congratulations for such a great initiative. I was speaking to Gaurav just before this show started, and I was very enlightened to hear. I asked him, I said, what is the objective of having FoAiD? What is the end game here? What is the ulterior motive here? And Gaurav was very clear in his thoughts, and he said the idea is to, as far as the vendors go, to select those people who are very innovative, who got new products to display. They are not looking at crowds, and to introduce them to you architects, so that you can give them an opportunity to actually be more participative in your creations, in your imaginative buildings, which you want to put into reality with people like us. So it's a great forum, and it's the best thing I like about FoAiD is that it's not focused on having a crowd here, just about everybody. I mean, you get tired just going and looking at the exhibition. There's just a focused attention on a certain few vendors, and of course, a few architects who wish to be here. And I'm told there are people flying in from outside the country to address the gathering. So all in all, I think we need to give them a big round of applause. Great show. So I am in real estate, as you all know, and I love each and every part of this business. And architects are a very integral, important part of our business. Why are you laughing? I mean that. Honestly, I think we all need to be very proud of ourselves. Because, probably we don't realize it. There's so much we are contributing, and it's this whole thing that has been put together. There's our labor community, there's the contractor community, there's the vendor community, there's the developer community, there's the architect community, there's the project management consultants, and et cetera, et cetera. And this whole thing, this whole huge force, this energy is us. And we underestimate ourselves. Please remember, we all are contributing so much to the economy of the country, together. I'm not saying as developers or as manufacturers or together, all of us, because if any one part of this entire system is not there, then we can't function effectively. So we are all together in this, and we are contributing to employment at the lowest level. We are contributing to manufacturing in a very aggressive manner, because in any office building or a house or a home or a housing society, there are more than 300 items that we use, which are, of course, boosting the manufacturing industry. So all in all, we guys are doing a great job, and we are not aware of it. So we, at CREDAI, time and again, we keep pointing this out to government, you need to listen to us. Us means all stakeholders, you included. All of us need to be listened to seriously. And now with the Prime Minister's dream of housing for all, it's such a tragic thing that after so many years, we still have to, have a scheme which says housing for all. Roti, kapda, makan should have been a reality by now, and it should have been taken for granted by now, but it's not. So we all can contribute very effectively in this initiative that the government is talking about. It's an opportunity. So what do I want to share with you is, as a developer, so there's this whole pyramid of demand. It's very interesting to hear, and you all can contribute very effectively in it. So I'm going to share with you what we find lacking when we want to do this housing for all. So here's this whole pyramid of demand. Most of us developers want to operate at the top level, or maybe we'll just touch the middle because we feel that that's where the margins are, and that's where, when you give us a drawing, when you have a concept, that's where we can spend that kind of money, because we can sell it for that price, and probably the expense we incur in realizing your thoughts and imagination will only do justice if we sell it over there at the top of the pyramid. So where is the opportunity for me as a developer? The rest of the pyramid. So I thought, why don't we start venturing? So we went lower, middle-class housing, then blue-collar housing. There's the base also. So that's the meat. 4 crore houses in the country by 2022. Huge opportunity. I mean, you can't even imagine what limits me as a developer to do that. What limits me? It's the margin. I feel, not when I say I speak for industry. Industry feels that there's no point in going down that space because you won't earn anything. But that's wrong now, because we've convinced government, so they've come up with a new policy in the budget last year, in the finance bill, where if you do houses of 30 square meters and 60 square meters, you get income tax rebates of 100% in that project, which is a big thing, very big thing. So we went back to government this year. We went to the finance minister and his team, and we said that 30 square meters, and I'm sure as architects you will all agree with me, we said 30 square meters is not doable because in certain towns, the bylaw, the corridor width, the ventilation does not permit us to do a 30 square meter. And they took that well. So we said you increase that in metros. You're looking at Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, maybe Hyderabad. So we said you increase that 30 square meter to at least a 60 square meter. And that 60 square meter, where you're saying within 25 kilometers of the radius of the center of these metros, outside that you can do 60 square meters. You increase that to 90 square meters. So we can kind of, make a house which is every family. I think we must understand the ethos, the emotion of a home buyer. Every family wants to stay in one location till the kids, they're going to a school nearby, so that the kids grow up in that house till they go to college. So be it a 2-bedroom, be it a 1.5 bedroom for the absolute LIG, that house must be at least big enough, must have at least 1.5 rooms. But in a 30 square meter, it's not practical to give 1.5 rooms. So they have taken that well, and probably we'll be getting some relief in the budget this year. So what is it? What is the opportunity? What limits me? Again, so this was the part, financial part, which limited me from doing this format, which has been taken care of by government. Design. So I have this misconception in my mind that if we do low-cost housing or affordable housing, it won't look beautiful. It'll be like a dabba. It'll be like a box. What will you do? You'll paint it some different color to make it look happy. Happy buildings is what I've always loved. And you see most of our buildings, we try and make happy buildings. So I feel, I felt that if we do this kind of housing, we won't be able to spend much money on it, and it won't look good. So, but then as a compulsion, business compulsion for bottom lines, we'll do it. You all need to help us in that. Why? How? I'm sure you all are creative enough and enterprising enough as a community of architects to come up with design which, when I implement that design, it doesn't cost much, but it looks as classy, as rich, without as a developer, having to spend that kind of money on my facades and elevations. Without having to do that, it still looks rich, it looks nice, it looks beautiful. So if my architects can enable me to do that, interiors of the house, why should a person living in an LIG house have to live, on mosaic flooring, or maybe, very crass, crude wall finishes, windows which are very ugly, MS windows? Why? Why can I not? So we have started doing a low-cost housing project. We've done 4 as a company, and this is not for bottom lines. We want to learn what that customer wants. Because please, I'm repeating this again, there's 4 crores such houses needed in the country. That is where the opportunity for you all is. If you can bring that concept to me as a developer and to my community as developers, we are sold out. So we did this housing in Bulandshahr, we did it in Bareilly, we're doing one in Moradabad. So the house in Bulandshahr cost 12 lakh rupees. It was a 50 square meter plot, square yard, and it had 600 square feet of built up area, 2 bedrooms and 1 bedroom. Like in those areas, they call it a baithak. So we tried to make the house as beautiful as we would make something in Noida or Gurgaon. So we gave it a nice textured beige finish, and the greenery was nice. So when we offered it to the community over there, they loved it. They said, we didn't know that 12 lakh mein aisa makan, aisi community mil sakti hai, but we didn't make money on that. You have to educate us how we can do that right. That is the opportunity. That is where we need your creativity. That is where we need your help to make beautiful office buildings. I would say today is an easy thing for you as architects. Because you come to me with a concept and you say, okay, this is a glass facade, or this, my building is turning and twisting like that, it's 1 in a million. We get that all the time. But that has stopped exciting us because bottom lines in that space have, they bottomed out. The opportunity is here. So please, go back to your drawing tables, go back to your design studios, and enable us, help us to do this. Because we want to do it. Government has enabled us to do it financially. The opportunity is there at the base and above of the pyramid. We don't know how to do it right. You know how to do it right. Having said that, and once again with utmost respect for all of you over here, I congratulate the organizers of FoAiD. I wish them well. And I'm sure in coming years, FoAiD will be a brand bigger than CREDAI. And we'll work together, definitely. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much.